Just listen and really listen and notice her responses. Do you like the excitement of a new challenge? Would you enjoy the support of a group of new friends? Do you enjoy the challenge of learning new skills? Would you and your loved one's stress levels be lessened by the satisfaction of knowing that you're taking a proactive approach to supporting your family in rocky times? Are you worried about getting your hours cut, being laid off, or your company closing? Have you ever thought about having your own business so you could choose your own hours and take control of your life back? Are you currently working a full-time or a part-time job? That works really well before you start the one you can work the same amount of hours and make more money, or you can work less hours and make the same money. Do you feel you're paid what you're worth? A lot of people out there certainly aren't. Of course, you don't want them to feel like they're being interrogated, so pick and choose your questions according to the responses that you're getting. Remember, you're not there to talk her into or out of anything. Never try to argue or make light of any of her objections. The best way to impress someone is to let her know that that you are impressed by her. No is not a disaster, just an incident in your Beauty by Janique life. Just remember Winston Churchill said, never give up, never give up, never, never give up. Our lives are full of ups and downs, and with enthusiasm, you can change the ups and downs to ups and less ups. Enthusiasm is contagious. Who did you expose today? Remember the old saying, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care? Show your interest in her. Okay. Lost my place. Sorry about that. Show your interest in her and that you do care about her. Then additional contact with her will not come off as being pushy, just as gentle nudges. And tonight I want to give you each a gentle little nudge or maybe a little push to grow your business and make it fun. You have the opportunity to change someone's life. Just do it. I love this passage from the letter to the reader in David McNally's book, Even Eagles Need a Push. And if you will just give me half a minute, I got to grab the book. It's not within reach.
That's okay. Sandy will be right back. She's always a positive thinking person, and she always has the right information because she's been highly successful. So that's very, very good. And then at the end, in a little bit, we'll have Corey and she'll be continue along this line of how we can find out if she's interested in the business. So that'll work out very effectively. And then I'm going to give you a little. It's a group of it's kind of an order of how you would really work with people and getting them to go ahead and know when they're ready to come into the business. So Mr. Knobs taught it to me many, many years ago. Are you back, Sandy?
Yes, I am, and I hope you think as much as I do that it'll be really worth waiting.
Yes, it's worth waiting for. I told him it was.
The eagle gently coaxed her offspring toward the edge of the nest. Her heart quivered with conflicting emotions as she felt their resistance to her persistent nudging. Why does the thrill of soaring have to begin with the fear of falling, she thought. This ageless question was still unanswered for her. As in the tradition of the species, her nest was located high on the shelf of a sheer rock face. Below there was nothing but air to support the wings of each child. Is it possible that this time it will not work, she thought? But despite her fears, the eagle knew it was time. Her parental mission was all but complete. There remained one task, the push. The eagle drew courage from an innate wisdom. Until her children discovered their wings, there was no purpose for their lives. Until they learned how to soar, they would fail to understand the privilege it was to have been born an eagle. The push was the greatest gift she had to offer. It was her supreme act of love. And so one by one, she pushed them, and they flew. That's it.
Oh, Sandy, that was beautiful.
I thought that. I've always loved that.
Love that. That was worth waiting for. That was delightful. But you know what I really liked about that? That really hit me right away. Why is the idea of success based on the fear of failing?
I don't know.
No, I just thought, wow, that's an eye-opener. That is absolutely great. We think of failing before we think of succeeding. That is not good. That means we're programmed the wrong way.
Yep.
And we've got to think about it, ladies. Everybody out there right now, right then and there, that gives us a clue that a lot of people, they're afraid they're going to fail, so they're not going to even go to try. Now, what if those eagles hadn't tried? Would they be able to eat? Would they be able to experience life? And think of all of the ladies that come into the business. Every one of us had a fear. But you can't have fear govern your life. You have to go ahead and let's not worry about the failing. Let's get excited about the successes. Thank you, Sandy. That was outstanding. I loved it. Thank you very, very much. Now what I'm going to do is turn this over to Corey Amoroso, and she's on our staff, and she's got some wonderful information. She said, I want to share some things. Can I share some things? And we said, of course, Corey. So, Corey, why don't you go ahead and share with the ladies your excitement about the emotional signs to know if that girl's interested.
Thanks, Phyllis. Hi, ladies. Good evening. So, today's talk is, why is body language or emotional signs so important? Well, it's important because when you learn how to read and evaluate emotional signs, it's like knowing what someone is thinking. And wouldn't it be great if we all could have that ability? But while we all can't become mind readers, we can develop our skills at reading emotional signs. In fact, emotional signs is actually a better indicator of a person's thoughts than words. Why? Because in whatever situation you're in, words can be very misleading because people often say what they don't mean. But it is more difficult to hide emotions, intent, and state of mind because they are often unconsciously expressed. So in the business of direct sales, learning how to read emotional signs is important because doing so will give you a certain amount of insight on the person you're talking to. Success in selling and sponsoring requires that you develop your skills in evaluating human behavior or body language. But before I begin, let me just state a few facts about body language. Did you know that 60 to 70% of all meaning is derived from nonverbal behavior? Humans use body movement in communicating because, according to research, it eases the mental effort when communicating becomes too difficult. And third, facial communication, such as a smile or a frown, is believed 4 times more than verbal communication. Okay, so I thought I'd add in those few interesting facts about emotions and body language. Now, here's a list of emotional expressions. What I would like you to consider, though, is that these behavior signs can have different meanings, but the important thing to remember is to put their meaning in context. Consider the positive and negative meanings of these 4 signs and how they relate in assessing the emotional signs of a customer or potential recruit. So first is our eye gestures. Good eye contact is generally seen as a good sign that she's receptive to your information. Or it can also mean that the listener doesn't trust what the speaker is saying. But basically, we're always told that eye contact is good. Now, there are 3 kinds of eye gestures relevant to our discussion today. First, when a person moves her eye from side to side, then up to the forehead, it means that they are taking an authoritative position. This indicates a certain powering off in the conversation. So avoid this type of eye gesture when you're speaking and notice it when it is being done to you. Second, eyes wandering means that the listener has lost interest or is losing interest in what you're saying. And third, one eye going to the other, then to the nose, signals that the conversation is engaging that person and that person feels that it is a level conversation, which means that she doesn't feel overwhelmed or intimidated by you. This is a gesture that you should aim to practice, and it is a very good sign when you see it from the person you're talking to because